Hey everybody, G-Force41 here with another PGA Tour 2K25 golf course design tutorial video. This is a quick video on showing your work. One of the biggest problems I see with the newer designers every time I do a quick tips is they don't show their work, especially off the tee. So I don't do design streams, but what I did is just kind of record a little bit of design video, and I'm going to show you exactly what I mean and just show you a couple of views that I changed, and let's see how it works. Okay, all right, here's view number one. Okay, so welcome to my par 3 work in progress. This is a 16th hole on an Iceland based course, and you can see here it's a nice pretty view with downhill par 3. It's a little Eden-esque, but you can't see that because you can't see the bunkers, and you can barely see in front of the green. Why? Because the tee box is in the way. And if you saw me sculpting on the beginning of this video, right, a few seconds ago, I mean, I was just flattening the tee box. Well, when you do that and you have the actual tee back a little bit in that box, you block the view for no reason at all. So I'm not going to put a tee in front of this tee right here. I'm going to put the tee off to the side. That was the circular green I was doing just to the left of this rectangular tee box. So I'm going to move this rectangle back, okay? And then we're going to take a look and see how that changes a view. So take a look at this, and then we'll see what happens and see how much the view improves just by fixing your tee box. So simple. Ready? Here we go. So this way you can see a little bit of the brushes I'm using. I'm using that traditional fuzzy brush, and I'm just going to go to landscaping, raise, and use that traditional circular brush and just bring it down a little bit. Now that's going to impact the flatness of the tee box. That's fine. You don't want to work too large a scale at a time. I'm only going down 2 feet at a time, just lowering it, making it proportional. And then we're going to have to go back in and reflatten it in a second. But that's starting to bring it down a little bit. But what I want to do here is I want a little bit of those rocks in the view of the tee box, not blocking the whole thing. I just want a little feel for it to give a flavor of the course. Since this is an Iceland-based course, the rocks and the lava and all that are going to be a big part of the look and feel of the course. So you want just a hint of that coming into the tee shot. So now you can see I've lowered everything, but of course now the tee box is slanted again. So we're going to go back and flatten it. We're going to move actually the fairway brush back, so the tee box is going to be moved up. The actual tee is where you're hitting from. And now we're going to flatten just in front of it, right? We don't need those tees way back. I'm going to give it a little bit of a view, not much, and then we can continue to flatten right in front of it. So already, so you can see much more of the green, the bunkers that are going to be surrounding it. Those are the indents. I don't think the bunkers are in yet. No, they're not when I did this. And now we just want to go back and lower this a little with the raise tool. So we did raise and lowered the rocks first, then we did flatten. Okay, easy stuff. Now you can see that. Look at that difference. Okay, so you got a hint of the rocks, and you can see the bunkers, and there'll be a little fairway, a little apron of a fairway in front. Okay, much different view than that first view. Okay, and look at that. You can see the bunkers, the surrounding areas on the left. Way much better, right? Here's that first view again. Take a look, right? Not even close. Now let's look at this, the new view, and let's move on to the next one. Cool. All right, so now we're going to show you a par 4 I'm working on. Same thing. I haven't fixed the tee boxes yet, so I figured I'd show you what I was doing to fix the tee box. This is a par 4 with a nice big center line bunker on it. It's a huge fairway, plenty of room left and right. Don't forget to add the room if you're going to do a center line bunker. And it fits in nicely with the ambiance. I haven't added the kind of rocky hills there off to the right. But you can see it's a nice big fairway. It's going to have an imposing bunker there. There's a little bit of shadows to deal with, but with the hills behind it, this should be a nice dramatic view. And what you'll see in a second is the current view, and it's just it's blah. You don't see much of anything. So I always talk about showing your work in the par 4s. You should be able to see some of the hole and what you're hitting at. So right now the tee box isn't elevated enough, and the terrain in front of the tee is too high to actually give a good visual off the tee. So that's what I'm already doing here. You can see I'm lowering it again. It's the raise tool and lowering it about 2 feet. That's not the flatten tool. I believe it's the raise tool. And you're going to see in a second what that tee shot looks like. And then I'm going to work through the quick improvements, and you'll see what a dramatic difference it makes. And actually, in this hole, it's probably not super dramatic because those shadows um, do make it a little difficult to see. But it's you'll see it's a much more dramatic, imposing view off the tee. Okay, so let's take a look. All right, so now you can see you can barely see anything. See the shadows? There's only a hint of that bunker. You can't see the fairway. You can't see anything. You look like you're just hitting off into grass, into a hill. All right, so that's got to change. So here's the picture. You can see the hole is off to the left, so it winds around to the right. You can see there's a nice hill over here. Again, that's going to be trees and some rocks and things like that as we go along. But this is a picture of nothing. You're hitting out into the grass. Um, and you can barely see the bunker there. And it's just the hills. Now, again, that's going to be more defined because it's going to be rocky. I'm going to use the terrain painting for that. And so you'll have trees, terrain painting, and things like that. But you can't see the fairway or really the bunker. So you have no idea what's going on from the tee. All right, so let's fix it. So, first thing you want to do is start lowering that terrain. Just using the raise tool to lower it, just bring it down. I'm not flattening anything just yet. Went a little deep there with the 5. 5 feet is that's about as much as you want to do. You don't want to do this 10 at a time. DD taught me that one a long time ago when sculpting, especially doing the fine sculpting like this. You don't ever want to do much more than 5 feet at a time. Okay, now I'm going back to flatten. Now I'm flattening it. Looks, it's a little jagged. But I just wanted to get that out of the way, get it lower about, so I went down about 5 feet a few times, so 10 to 15 feet down. So, that's pretty dramatic. So you had a big hill in between the tee box and the fairway, and there's no reason for it. And this is what a lot of designers miss. They just kind of plop the tee box down, they plop the fairway down, and there's terrain in between the two that's not strategically needed or needed for a visual. And so you want to just get rid of it. Again, I'm just using those soft brushes. I use the soft brush or the fuzzy donut, as they call it. Um, where did I go? Now I'm raising the tee box. It's a circle. You want a hard brush for that. I'm only bringing up about a foot there, and I'm going to have just another tee box off to the side. Same kind of thing. Okay, you're going to have two different angles on this hole coming around that bunker. So you're going to want to favor the right side from the up tee and the left side from the other one if you can. Now we're getting there. Okay, that's looking better. You can see the bunker a little. What are we having trouble seeing? The fairway, because these textures are very close to each other. You can see a hint of the fairway off to the right, and the bunker is predominantly in view there. And so you want to go left, you want to go right, we'll see. But it's looking much better already. Here's the old version again. And you can see it's just grass, shadows. You barely can see the bunker. Not much doing, okay? So now here's the revised version. It still needs a little work, but you can see it's much better. Ready? There you go. So you can see the bunker a little. You can see the fairway just a hint off there on the right. I have to little bit of work to do. I might have to move some of those trees around and get rid of those shadows to the left and show the fairway bunker on the left a little. Obviously, I'm just doing a work in progress, so I want to work on the terrain painting on the hills. But all in, now you've got an imposing shot, an imposing bunker in the fairway with a beautiful backdrop and the beginnings of a really dramatic hole. I love this hole. This was my favorite holes on the course. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope this is informative for you. I want to do some quick, short videos like this more often. I will be back with more casual previews, as casual worthy, and some quick tips real soon. That's all for today. Bye for now.